What is going on, guys? It's Super GT here, and this is my first video for my career mode in F1 2014. So I've asked you in one of my previous videos to vote on which team I should start with. Now, it was actually very close on the vote. Actually, it was a tie for the top between McLaren and Williams. So if we go over to McLaren and Williams, they're both 2-star or 2 out of 4 on the difficulty, so they should be fairly equal. But I'm going to go with Williams. I was impressed by their season this year, and or last year I should say. Now it is 2015 now. But one thing I am a bit questioned by is that their difficulty is 2 and Ferrari is only 1. I would have thought that Williams should be 1 and Ferrari should be 2, but hey ho, that's the way it goes. Codemasters, I think, made a mistake on that anyway. So those of you who voted for Williams, Anthony Ruan, Caraholic 94, Rock Dodger, Leon D and Cabrig 76, all of you voted for Williams. And those of you who voted for McLaren are Charlie Deemer, Silver Spec, Iron Ace, Chris Todd, Kyle Cheney. So thank you to all of you for voting. There are some votes on Force India as well. I got 4 votes for that, and a few for Ferrari, 1 for Sal, but I'm going to go with Williams. Okay, obviously we're going to do a full season here. We're not going to do any of these medium or short seasons, just going to do all the races. And here we go, we have joined Williams, Martini Williams, although in this game the Martini livery isn't shown. I'm not sure the reason why that is. But yeah, Martini has been sponsoring Williams this year. Right, okay, so I have replaced Valtteri Bottas and I'm racing with Felipe Massa in my championship. So you can see there, season objective, they want me to finish 7th, which is quite high. Then again, Williams are a good team. I'm not expecting to win the championship. I'll just expecting to be up the front, but you know, fighting for podiums, that kind of thing. But obviously I haven't played F1 in quite a while, so I don't know exactly what to expect. So let's go into qualifying. So here we are, coming around the final corner, DRS on into my flying lap. Now this is Q2. My Q3 lap was fairly decent. I managed to get through quite easily. So there we go, at the 100 meter marker board, get on the apex nicely, take all of the AstroTurf on the exit, and as we go down into turn 4, DRS available again, double DRS on this circuit. So brake under the trees, hooked up with the apex, get back over to the right slightly before turning left, get a small amount of curb there, but then I slow down a bit for turn 7, which wasn't, or turn 6, which wasn't ideal. But I get hooked up nicely there on the throttle quite nicely as we approach the big right hander here. So spot your braking point on the left, the 100 meter marker board, get hooked up with the apex again nicely, and there's plenty of AstroTurf as we go onto the middle straight up to the end of sector 2. So this is my Q2 lap. I did not get into Q1 unfortunately because I feel that I'm on too hard a difficulty. I think I might have to tone it down. Let me know what you think, because I was struggling for pace on Legend AI. Bearing in mind that I don't play this game all that much, so I was struggling quite a bit. So there we go, round into the penultimate corner now. Hard on the brakes that corner, and then this corner here is very tough on the throttle. It's very hard to get it right. Just so you know, I am on traction control medium. I just could not for the life of me do it on with it off. I tried, but it's just too difficult for me, at least. So I'm doing it on medium. All the other assists are off. I'm on manual gears. So you can see there I qualified 14th, which isn't amazing for a Williams. I probably should have done better, but then again I am on Legend AI and I think I might have to go down a difficulty rating. But here we go on the grid. So Felipe Massa is quite a way ahead of us, but let's not worry about that too much. Let's see what we can do in the race. So 4 lights and 5 lights, and away we go for the start of Super GT's F1 2014 season. in a Williams. So there we go, down into 15th, but we're going to make the most of the poor AI. So we're going to dive up the inside there, into the back of Jenson Button. We don't actually gain in positions at this point. In fact, we're down 1 into 15th, back up to 14th. And as we come into turn 4, they're going to be early on the brake. So I'm going to go down the outside of Perez in a quite a tidy move. And Kvyat's all over the road, Magnussen's all over the curb. And I'm down the inside of Kvyat. Again, I'm struggling for traction because of the lack of traction control, and Kvyat's just, I remember he was just all over the road and he just would not let me pass. I don't know, I think he had a problem, so I tied around the outside of him there, and I think he's holding everyone up. I think he had a problem in this race. So already there's quite a big gap between me and the car ahead, which is unfortunate. Ideally you want to be you want to stay within 1 second, so you keep that DRS and just keep the DRS pulls you along essentially. Even if you're in a slower car, you get like tagged along with the extra speed on the straights through DRS. So getting a bit wide there on the chicane. That's a very hard corner to judge. Sometimes you carry far too much speed through the first part of the chicane, and then you end up carrying it through to the second part, and then you go wide, which obviously isn't good. They've programmed it into the game that you lose a bit of speed if you go wide. Your engine will cut out essentially a slight bit. So that's lap 1 completed. We got a bit of a gap to Perez behind us, and Magnussen is getting away in front of us. This is what I mean about the lack of pace in this, for me anyway, because I haven't played F1 all that much, but I think I'm doing pretty well. This is Legend AI with minimal assists. In fact, the only assist is traction control on the half setting. It's still hard to control. You do have to really concentrate in this game if you want to get it right. And fair play to any of the like league drivers who can drive without assists. I was watching a league race of the AOR league, I believe it was, and there was a race on Brazil. It was their last race for the last season, and they're all nose to tail, 7 people, or even 13 people, nose to tail, no assists, and that was top quality driving. I'm not sure I'm quite on that level yet, but I'm getting there. And so here we come up to the final sector, and it doesn't look like I've gained on Magnussen at all, and I think Perez is slightly gaining on me if anything. I've got it on the rich setting at the moment, and that just goes to show you how hard it is to gain, because I don't think they are on the rich setting. I think the AI do like to save fuel sometimes at the beginning, especially if they're in traffic. Well, they should do anyway. So DRS is enabled, but obviously I'm not within range. But the only problem is that Perez is just over a second behind, so I've got to be careful about him. So I'm back onto the optimal fuel setting. Optimal fuel, so I'm going to have to change back down. You can see they're struggling for traction already, so the tyres are giving up slightly. It's only lap 3, so that's not good news at the moment. So we are going to head round here, and we're going to fast forward slightly into lap 7. So lap 7 is where all the business begins to start with the pit stops. So you can see there on the right hand side the pit stop graphic flashing, and there's Turbo Warrior, my main man, biggest fan. And right, so yeah, my tyres are going orange on the graphic, so I'm struggling for grip at the moment. And so we judged that chicane a bit better that time. You can see the tyre marks where I went wide once. So this lap is where pretty much everyone's going to stream into the pit lane, apart from a few people. And here we go around here. Now braking into this corner is really tricky. I found it really hard. So you can see there, brake way too late. I found it hard to get some consistency on the brake pedal. Maybe I need to change the settings slightly. But I don't have ABS, so it is a bit harder. So here we go. Let's see what the Williams boys can do. Hopefully a decent pit stop. Nice helmet cam there. Decent stop. Now this really made me... They still haven't changed these animations for leaving the pit lane. You leave at like 90 degrees. It's like ridiculous. Look at that angle. Yeah, they need to change that. It hasn't changed since 2010, I don't think, that animation. But anyway, yeah. So there we go, leaving the pit lane, 90 degrees. I don't know what physics, alien physics are beholding this car. I mean, if you can turn 90 degrees like that, then why can't you do it around a corner? Why can't you just go around this corner at 200 mile an hour? You probably can go around 100 mile an hour, 200 mile an hour, let's say. Right, okay, so I am now in 13th, so I've lost 2 positions, but that's only because 2 people haven't pitted. I think Perez has stayed out, the cunning Perez, because obviously in real life he's very good on these tyres, and he does do alternate strategies. So here we go, Marcus Ericsson's ahead of us, but he hasn't pitted yet. So he's going to dive into the pit lane here, I think. Yes, he is, there he goes. So we're going to gain 1 position back, up to 12th. Going out the final corner, DRS engaged. And let's see where Perez is. He's coming out of the pit lane right now. There he is. Are we going to get ahead of him? Just about. That is very close. But thankfully, that's 1 position gained, or kept, should I say, during the pit stop rounds. So we've only got 6 laps left to go. Let's see if we can gain on Magnussen ahead of us. Or, no, Jean-Eric Vergne is ahead of us. So this pretty much was the trend for the last half of the race. I couldn't really make any inroads on the guys ahead of us, so it turned into a defensive race. Unfortunately I was in 11th, so I wasn't really defending anything worthwhile, so I wasn't defending any points, but it's still always worth defending. It's always worth keeping your position if you can, just in case let's say someone else retires ahead of us, then I would be in 10th. So coming down the main straight, Perez getting very close to me. I have to keep tabs on him because he has got DRS, but this time it's okay. That's the biggest threat, I'd say, going into the first corner. They're not so big into the fourth corner. So he's going to go up he tried the inside, so I'm going to come across and block for my 1 defensive move. Stay on the middle because I've already made my move, and thankfully I've kept him behind this time at least, as we go into turn 4, but he doesn't try into turn 4 because he's a bit on the back foot coming through turn 1. So again, coming out of the final corner, he's got a better run on me this time, and he's right behind me this time. I'm going to keep tabs on him, move over the last minute. Nothing too, it's close, but I think it's fair, just about. The AI is pretty easy to defend against if you get it right. So Nico Rosberg has won the race, and here's my final lap. The end of my final lap, lap 15. So you can see they're struggling for grip again, and through the final corner again, struggling for traction out of there, really bad. But there we go, over the line. We've kept Perez at bay, which was decent, but again 11th isn't really good enough, which is why I think I need to tone it down a bit. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. What difficulty should I do? I think I should move it down 1 to expert, because maybe I can go back to Legend later in the season. But there you go, there's final confirmation of the results. Felipe Massa was in 5th in the end, so he did quite a lot better than I did in 11th. But at least I did go up from my qualifying position. At least I gained, I suppose, which is good. So there's the championship. Rosberg, as you'd probably expect, along with Hamilton at the top. So there you go, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Comment down below, like, and I'll see you next time.